Okay, hello everyone. This is the study guide for the Unit 2 test. We're going to go over it real quick, and that way you can check your answers and be ready for the test. Starting off on all these, you should not need a calculator. So without a calculator, that's using the unit circle. Find the values of each of the functions below. So we have sine of pi over 3. That's just looking at your unit circle, finding pi over 3. Sine is the y value, and so it's going to be the y value right there. Square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of 5 pi over 6, again, just find 5 pi over 6 right here. Cosine is the x value, so that's going to be negative root 3 over 2. Tangent of 7 pi over 4. So again, we find tangent, so 7 pi over 4 is right here in unit 4. You should know that, or have at least jotted down, that the tangent of 7 pi over 4, anything over 4 is going to be 1 or negative 1. So the tangent of 7 pi over 4 is equal to 1 right here. So, or negative 1, I should say. So that should be negative 1. And then they do the same thing, but this time in degrees. So sine of 30 degrees, or 330, right here. Sine is the y value, so we have negative 1/2. Cosine of 270. 270 is this negative y-axis. And we wanted cosine. And so cosine is the x value. It's going to be 0. And then tangent of 300 degrees. Tangent is sine over cosine. So that's going to be negative square root of 3 over 1/2, which simplifies out to just negative square root of 3. Okay. The next section here. The next section is use the Pythagorean identity to find the missing values without a calculator. So this is just a throwback from Unit 1 using the Pythagorean identity. So the Pythagorean identity is cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta is equal to 1. And we are given sine. Is 3 over 5. So we just fill in what we know here. Cosine squared theta is plus 3/5 squared is equal to 1. So cosine squared theta is equal to, plus again. 9/25 is equal to, we're going to go ahead and change this to be common denominators, 25 over 25. Subtract 9 25ths from both sides. Cosine squared theta is 16 over 25. Square root both sides. Cosine of theta is equal to positive or negative, plus or minus. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5, so it's plus or minus 4/5. Because we are in quadrant 2, In quadrant 2, cosine is negative. So this is going to be cosine of theta is equal to negative 4 over 5. And we're done. This time we need to find sine. So we will do sine squared theta plus cosine, which is negative 1/5. Make sure you put the negative in the parentheses there, squared, is equal to 1. Sine squared theta plus, so this negative will square away. 1 squared is 1, 5 squared is 25, so 1/25 is equal to 25 over 25. Change 1 there to be common denominators. So I can then subtract 1/25 from both sides. Sine squared theta is equal to 24 over 25. Square root both sides again. Add the plus or minus. So we get sine theta is equal to 24 is not a perfect square. 25 is. The square root of 25 is 5. This is plus or minus. Because we are in quadrant 3, everything is negative in quadrant 3, so we're going to want the negative. Uh, 24, we can factor a perfect square out of 24. So we want the square root of 4 times the square root of 6 over 5. And the square root of 4 is 2. So our final answer is negative 2 square roots of 6 over 5. Here we go, we got find cosine theta if sine is equal to negative root 3 over 7. So, again, this is just another, the exact same. So we're finding cosine, so we don't know it. So cosine squared theta plus negative square root of 3 over 7 squared is equal to 1. Squaring this, the negatives cancel out, giving us square root of 3 squared. The square root cancels out, leaving just 3. And 7 squared is 49. Bring down everything else. Equals 49 over 49. Subtract 3/49 from both sides, leaving just cosine squared theta is equal to 49 minus 3 is 46 over 49. Last step, take the square root of both sides. Cosine theta is plus or minus the square root of 46 over 7. The square root of 49 is 7. We are in quadrant 4. And in quadrant 4, cosine is positive. So you want the positive version of that. And 46 is, there's no perfect square we can factor out of that. The factors of 46 are 2 and 23. Neither of those are perfect squares. So we are done. And finally, find tangent if sine is 3/5. So tangent of theta is equal to sine theta over cosine theta. So we need to find both sine and cosine. We're given sine, so our first step should be find cosine. So cosine squared theta plus 3/5 squared is equal to 1. Square out our fraction. We should get 9. 3 squared is 9. 5 squared is 25. Is equal to 25 over 25. Common denominator again. Subtract 9 25ths from both sides. Cosine squared theta is equal to 16 over 25. Square root both sides. Cosine theta is equal to 4/5. We are in quadrant 1, so we want positive 4/5. But it's asking for tangent, not for cosine, so we're not quite done yet. We don't have tangent. So to get tangent, we take sine theta over cosine theta. So tangent of theta is equal to sine, which is 3/5, over cosine, which is 4/5. The 5's cancel out. So tangent of theta is 3 over 4. And we're done. If you notice, these aren't special angles on the unit circle, and so I'm not going to be asking you to use inverse cosine to find theta. We're not looking for theta exactly. We're looking for the ratio. So you don't have to worry about finding special angles on the unit circle. Okay, I'm going to end this video here and start the next one for the next page.